Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. Welcome to block number 4 of my 12 Blocks of Christmas series. I have a playlist link for this series in the description box of this video somewhere. You just need to find it. It will also pop up on the end screen at the end of this video. What I'm doing is 2 blocks per month, April through September. This is 2024. Right now we're on block 4, which means it's the second block in May, and you can go get caught up if you want to. If you are watching after September 2024, well then the whole series is done, and you can just go do the whole series whenever you want. You can watch all the videos and see if it's something you might like to do. This is a big Scrappy quilt block. We are making 12 blocks of Christmas, and they come out to be 12 by 20, about. We don't have to be perfect with this. As I go, I show you how you can swap pieces, so you can, go ahead and just create blocks any way you want using the sizes that I give you. You do not have to do Christmas. You can do Scrappy. You can do something more like all one color if you want, or do whatever you want. I'm just using Christmas prints because I was able to get my hands on 114 Christmas prints. If you would like to do this with batiks, I do have some batik scrap packs at the time that I'm uploading this. The biggest are 8 by 10. You might be able to even get some of the bigger pieces I use. Like this is 7.5 by 10, so you could use a batik. If I ever have a big piece and you don't, you could just add 2 pieces and then cut to 7.5 by 10. You don't have to use my exact sizes. You can piece things and then cut to fit the spot that we need. What I'm doing is breaking this up into 3 sections, and this block has a section like this, a section like this, and then a section like this that goes across the top, or it can go across the bottom when we're done. I'll show you all of that. So let's move these guys and work on this. I give you the sizes as we go. Let's start with this. And before I give you the sizes, you could do this. You could do this. Doesn't matter. You get to choose. And like I said, this could end up being the bottom of the block or the top. I'm doing it as the top, and I'm setting it up this way. This piece is 8 wide by 2.5 tall. This piece is 8 wide by 3.5 tall. This piece is 4.5 wide by 5.5 tall. I'm going to sew these 2 together, and then I'm going to sew this to that. And yes, it will fit because we're going to lose 1/2 inch in that seam allowance, and it will fit this. This is what I have. And if you didn't have any directional prints, like this one has to be, this way. The little penguins have to be standing up, not upside down. But if you didn't have anything directional, you could, after the fact, turn that if you decided you liked it that way better. But this is what we have. Okay, let me get section number 2. Section number 2 looks like this. We have 5 pieces. This piece at the top is a 5-inch square. This is a 3.5-inch square, and I fussy cut so we'd have Santa in the center. These 2 little guys are 2-inch squares, so you need 2 of them. And this guy down here is 5 wide by 7.5 inches tall. Oh, and when I mentioned about the batiks, if you got the bigger size pack, which is, I think I said 8 by 10. I like to say 10 by 8 because 10 is the width of the fabric, but none of them are directional, so that doesn't really matter. Anyway, they're on eBay now, so my eBay name is Darlene Michaud. I have a link in the description of this video. If you can't find the description of this video, go to my blog, darlenemichaud.com, and you'll see eBay links somewhere, I think on the left-hand side in the sidebar. All right, so let's just move these 2 guys out for a second. Let me zoom in a little bit. 3.5 inch square, two 2-inch squares. I'm sewing these together, and then I'm going to attach it to this guy. I wanted to zoom out again. This is what I just did. And I want to show you that again, you could swap these. You could have had the 2-inch squares on this side, this piece on this side, and at this point you could put this at the top, you could put this at the bottom. You could do it any way you want. There's lots of choices here. I am going with this because that's the way I want it. I'm just going to sew these 3 pieces together. And this is what I have. Now let's do the next section. This section has 4 pieces. This one is 7.5 inches wide by 10 inches tall. This is 7.5 inches wide by 3 inches tall. This one is 4.5 inches wide by 3 inches tall. This one is 3.5 inches wide by 3 inches tall. Going to sew this to this. I will sew these 2 together, and then I will attach this to the rest of this. And again, you can swap things any way you want. You can even do this and this. I'm going with this. Like this. This is what I have. Now all we have to do is put our 3 sections together. Mine is going to go together like this. But you have so many choices, especially if you don't have directional prints. You could turn this way. This could go this way. This could go upside down. This one could go on this side. This one could go to the bottom. And again, in any direction that you want. But I have chosen to do this like this. And you saw my Santa fussy cut, but this one has a fussy cut too. I made that truck be somewhat in the center. I'm going to sew these 2 together, and then I'm going to put this onto there. And this is my block. I really like this one. I like the colors and all that stuff. It's coming in a little bit smaller. It's like not quite 12 by not quite 20. And that's why I don't trim. At the end, if I were to be putting these together, and I might just put them on eBay as an auction, just as the pieces, I can't call it a square, the blocks. That way somebody can arrange them the way they want, or they could use them in different projects or whatever. So I'm not sure. But if you're making these and you're going to put them together at the end, and it would be 4 wide by 3 tall. So you'd have 4 of these, 3 rows of 4 of these. Trim at the end. Find out what your smallest one is and trim the others to that size. And then you can sew them together. And you don't even have to trim them all. Say there's one a little bit bigger, sew them together, and then after they're sewn together, even off the edges. That's the way I do things. Why trim a bunch of times, right? Okay, I hope you enjoyed this block. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I have other series also. I have a quilt block of the month, crochet block of the month. I have this, the 12 blocks of Christmas. I think that's all the ones I have going for right now. And remember, these are 2 per month, like the 2nd week and the 3rd week. The quilt block of the month is on the 1st of the month. The crochet block of the month is on the 15th of the month. And those run 1 per month. So 12 throughout the year. I will have the links of all of that shit in the description of the video that you never go see. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye!